folks, why don't we call the meeting to order?
There you go.
It is 5:00, approximately 5:06, 5:07, on Thursday, February 12th. Welcome to the Board of Directors meeting for the Scituate Senior Center. Council on Aging. Welcome all. We're going to do a quick round of announcements or introductions, and then I'll stop talking. I'm getting on.
Linda Kelly, Director.
Bethany O'Connor, board member.
Laura Manuel, Transportation.
Steve Dwyer, board member.
Susan Quote, board member.
Leslie James, board member.
Laurie Brady, board member.
Kenzie Vanderbrook, South Shore Elder Services, and for tonight only, Foss.
Doubling up. Okay.
Russ Paulin, board member.
Pat Calvin, board member.
Susan Drevich Kelly, vice chair.
Welcome all. I think your packet has minutes, and where I know Linda shot them around earlier today. Please take a minute to take a look at last month's minutes. Okay, and they were well done as always, Pat.
Move to accept the grievances.
Does anyone have any edits or editing, wordsmithing?
No, it's an excellent
Omissions?
report. Easy to read.
That was Pat.
Thank you, Pat. Russ?
Yeah.
Russ has put a motion on to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
Isn't
you.
isn't it on the 15th, not the 16th?
What?
The parade.
It
It just says March 16th, but isn't it the 15th?
It is on the 15th.
Yes.
That is true.
There is an important date.
I did edit myself, just adding Anna as having been in attendance last month, because she was not included there.
Thank you.
And I corrected Janine Chisholm's last name because it was misspelled. So the one you had read didn't have those corrections, the printed one does.
Okay.
But that is, the parade is on the 16th, what is that?
It's down on.
For me? Oh, yeah, there.
Under it, yeah.
The 16th, the 16th.
Well, I'm gonna say that our edited minutes are approved, so thank you again. And we'll hand it over to Linda for a report.
Okay, you know, it dawned on me when we were talking, when you were trying to
Trying
set
to
out
talk.
the senior
When I was trying to
center.
talk.
I don't know if anyone was aware that Duxbury officially has changed their name to the center, just the center,
Really?
No,
no senior. I mean, as opposed to
Community center or.
Center for Active Living, which, you
living or.
know, is
right.
Plymouth and Hingham,
Yeah, so it's just a Duxbury Center.
the center.
Okay.
Like I said, I get their emails, and I was surprised.
Yeah, everyone's trying to change their marketing.
You like it,
message.
yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes we just refer to it because it's a given, I guess, right, within the building, you know, the center. So it makes sense, I understand it, but,
Well, senior sometimes gets straight.
well, that's the point of it, not being senior or
Right.
liking senior. But I have read other opinions of it recently that still stick to what we felt 6 years ago that, you know, people were very happy. It's just it's a minor label that people sort of appreciate and didn't feel the need to like alter, because it worked for them and they didn't mind it. So we haven't, but eventually I'm sure it will come.
No, it's really interesting, because a few people, we were talking after the Blue Zone on Tuesday, and a few people were talking about, and it may be Duxbury, I can't remember which senior center it was, and people, there is the other side of
Mhm.
people that want it to be recognized as a
Yeah,
community
Community
center
center.
for
Center for-
seniors, because it's like, yeah, you know,
well, we waited a long time and they wanted to, yeah, absolutely be
and
recognized.
we're very active in participating in getting it to happen.
Yes.
So, you know, do you really want to turn it into a community center? And yeah, so there's that opposing, they just like it to be focused on
It's a little
seniors.
unofficially one, and also maybe we don't even know the people that aren't coming because of that. And so another
Yeah.
way to hear from them, we'll have to figure that out someday,
Yeah.
I guess. Anyway, so, just interesting fun fact. We had only 25 new member registrations during January. We are experiencing, of course, more parking challenges than normal because AARP tax prep is ongoing now in earnest since last Thursday. And, you know, they have 5, 6, 7 volunteers, plus the people coming in and having to stay for the 2 or more hours following their appointments. So, I mean, we know that. It hasn't, I don't think, been
Plus
glaring before.
Yeah, snow drifts.
Plus the snowplow.
So the snow has taken away a lot of spaces.
Yeah.
The problem is people trying to get in for their programs, but also the food pantry, not just the food pantry. In addition to the parking lot, people need to be able to get through and go 2 ways
Yeah.
behind the old school building.
Yep.
And we pretty much worked it out with the food pantry, that they stay very far to the side and the 2-way still can happen, but now with the snow, that's been more
It's
difficult.
tight.
And unfortunately, out of desperation, people are parking absolutely anywhere, and so now they're parking literally where the food pantry has to get in to their window, and they're parking in front of the dumpster, and they're parking on the crosswalk, and all the places that they should know they cannot park. But the food pantry's been over here, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 times because they need a delivery. Today, I think the dumpster, I thought it was okay, but I didn't walk all the way out there, and then I guess they didn't empty the dumpster because they couldn't do it.
Couldn't do that.
Wow.
So, you know, running around the building trying to figure out whose car because we don't have a PA system. So it's been a challenge, and I have some flyers out and about, but mostly it's just, hopefully it doesn't last. You know, it's mostly the snow having caused even more pain than usual, but everybody is aware of it, I guess. So that's hard. So we've had our art exhibit, which, if I didn't mention last time, is with the Scituate Art Association, which is our first time collecting them as artists, so it's been nice. And if anyone's interested, we did manage to schedule a reception for all of them, which I guess they wanted, but it's the last day. It's the 26th of February from 3 to 5, and then they're gonna take their stuff from there. So it kind of works out. Hopefully they leave it till 5, that's what we're hoping, come later if they don't want to stay for 2 hours. But then our exhibit for March, which is also going to be on the cover of the newsletter, is Skip Toomey, and he's doing a reflections of both paintings from Ireland that he's done on site, originals, and also from Scituate. So kind of a juxtaposed, contrasting work, and he's really a very good artist, also a musician.
I was gonna say he didn't sing well. That is reception.
Well, I thought maybe some of it is because he does the Irish session at the Snug on Monday nights, and he's got a pretty good crew there, maybe they'll come. He is having a reception as well in March, and then April, as always, it comes around, the high school artwork will be here. So they're just on the bottom floor, but we do clear out a bit of the library shelving so that they can put some of the 3D stuff out for people, so it does, we change a little bit of the environment for them. We did, and Lauren is here from Transportation as our guest tonight, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We well, Jill and myself, and then Lauren came in the afternoon, and I left. But Weymouth Senior Center scheduled a training just to update us all as directors, but some of our staff could come on things that have changed and been improved. So I went for the morning, Lauren came, because they really were showing the transportation component, which we had seen briefly, a little bit of a sales meeting with them on Zoom, and so we have decided to purchase it. Well, we wanted to purchase it anyway. It is very different. It's a little more gooey, a little more, I don't know, like
Are you already playing with it?
like an app.
We haven't gotten it yet. We start the 26th and then we'll do the training here and then I'll integrate a few of my drivers. I'm not gonna integrate all of them. But what we get is an iPad and pretty much it's like live time. So if say, Susan, you know, you canceled your doctor's appointment, I'll go in, I'll cancel you out and it will automatically go straight to the driver and say, your route is rerouted.
Wow.
So now you're going to pick up D for her, you know, appointment. So it's kind of interesting how the way it goes, but everything's a little
They
bit
did say it's
different.
very different, and so we're getting trained,
Yeah.
or the first training, and there's 4 of us going through the training, and I'm really like a half in. But we don't have to transition right over to it, so she can, I don't know,
Go
like
slow.
work with it
Slow.
somehow, maybe on an offline type computer.
Because otherwise you're trying to get everybody.
But once it's done,
Your
it's done.
return grade, like instantaneously.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, she'll be able to do it, no doubt, she'll
Yeah.
be fine. But I think I might have mentioned this last time, so I apologize, but, you know, it was you could just get it for $1,000 annually, or we could add the iPad whole thing, and that was a lot more money, $2,500, but Gatford agreed to up our contract, the budget, and so they're really footing the bill
Good.
this year.
Which is awesome.
So it is very awesome.
But it's
So
also renewable
why
annually?
wouldn't we? It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
One iPad, not every van, because
Mhm.
really all our drivers couldn't necessarily do it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And if we could, we'll see. So one step at a time, but excited about that. You know, storm prep was a little bit the last, you know, couple weeks, but with the weekends, really I've been pushed to the library because they have a generator now, so really I keep saying, like, do you need me? Because I'm used to it, but really not.
So they're really not using the senior center as a warming center
Yeah,
this year?
I mean, if it was a weekday, which it really, well, we actually haven't had to worry about it except for the extreme cold, which was on the weekend last week, and so it was the library, because they were open both days. And they just did regular hours, they didn't even extend the hours. But it's mostly when residents lose power that they would ask us to open. So it could be, if that does happen still, then we would get asked, but it's kind of like, okay. And they had tested the generator, did a little extra testing just to make sure it worked if we lost, but we didn't. So I did, you know, every year, there's an annual report from the town of Scituate, so it was due this past week, so that's in. Numbers are different and numbers are up, as they have been, so I do indicate that, you know, what the numbers are in for the community. It's the one time the community gets to read, unless they go online and read the reports that we file from the board meetings, but otherwise that's speaking to the community, so it's a good report. Outside group meetings, you know, sort of as usual, really, just like last month. The softball league, in addition, had their chili bowl on New Year's Day, which, you know, we barely know they're here, and I didn't come, but they all bring their crock pots
Oh.
and use power strips and plug them in, and
Is it a chili bake-off kind of thing, or
it's just.
competition?
Not really, no. I'm sure
Linda?
they have their favorites.
I have to say, I mentioned that you were doing this at the meeting at South Shore, and people from the other towns are very interested in what you're doing, because they like, in some towns, not all towns, because they can't do it in all towns, but they're really interested in how you're integrating outside groups into your schedule. And they were asking me, who's coming? And I said, I really don't know. So this is interesting
Oh, you mean
stuff that
outside
I
use
can
of the
bring
building?
back. Yeah, yeah. I mean, not everybody can keep their place open in the evening because of staffing issues or other issues. Some don't have a space of their own, so they're just, you know, renting out space anyway. But the idea of it is very attractive to
Well,
others.
keep
So
in
you're
mind-
like a role model now.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I mean, originally, the idea would have been that it might have been revenue in and that was certainly used as a, you know, a positive reason for getting the space. But now that we don't rent, so it is, so, there's a building use policy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think anybody needs it.
So you may get some calls from
That's-
other places.
We did do it a little bit in the old building, just because, I mean, it was an insufficient building, but the fact was, it was comfortable, and it was a town building. So we did have some groups meeting then even, so not unfamiliar to us. And it's nice that we have the auto, I don't always have to be here.
Yes, and people are interested in that as well.
Okay. So we finally, building repairs, yeah, it was a big month. The walk-in freezer, which has been pending for well a year anyway.
Wow.
And we've been waiting and waiting, and someone had been out, and we thought they ordered a part, but it was really unclear what vendors would really take care of the types of maintenance needs we had in the kitchen.
What was wrong with the window?
Well, it was not insulating enough so that it was,
Oh, so the cold was,
freezing over kind of in the window, so
Oh,
it needed
wow.
something. So
That's
that,
really
we had a pretty serious dishwasher issue and a long-standing oven issue that Fred had just given up on that no one could fix. And
By the way-
Cam finally had the company that does the schools' kitchens. Why that didn't happen before, I have no idea, but they came, they fixed everything.
really?
So
Wow.
that was a good thing, and now we'll be under contract with them, so now we know who to call.
Good.
So that's been a while. We had a lot of problems with that oven, stove, top in the beginning, major problems, which some of you will remember having been talked about. It was terrible. And we had a company who was trying to fix it at that time, but now we can cut them loose. And then we did have a couple of another replacement electrical. So we're in pretty good shape. Our social day program might be going through a couple of changes, so we might be tapping the wait list. Kelly's been on vacation this week, and even Jen, who's taken on our Friday morning, Jen Adams, she was sick, so Lucille, in fact, will be here tomorrow because of that.
Also, a couple of participants have moved on. right?
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
so there'll be some transition or some movement, which is a little bit sad, it always is, but you may remember from last time, she has started, Kelly and Lucille, the Together in Time Memory Cafe, which of course we've been talking about for years, or trying here and there. But it was really good, they had a single day, or a couple hours, I guess, and some food. So it was very nice, very social, people from other centers or other towns that knew about it or are affiliated or are friends with some of the participants we have came.
How
And
many
so
people?
this,
How many people came?
I would say, looking back, it could have been 25 to 30,
Oh, wow, that's great.
because it's caregiver, you know, with,
Right.
with participants. And so there's another one this month on the last Friday, so February 27th, and then again each month hopefully through at least June, because she got funding for it. But there's no real reason that we couldn't continue it, honestly, because we do have that money that we could earmark. Well, I have a report also, of course, from Gail, so there are numbers noted for activities in January, but a couple of the special events. We did have Junaid Yassin again do a presentation on the Middle East and things that could change and how the U.S. should respond. And people really have liked his, they're usually one off, not multiple weeks, although I think he did a 2-week one. So we hope he'll continue to do that. He goes away, travels, he comes back. And we just had a woman at the desk today say, oh, I wish you had more lifelong learning. And I said, you know, we do, like we think we do, we just don't package it as, you know, we don't have the registrations. Duxbury is known for it, and they've been doing it for many years. So it's like school, and they register and they have their classes and they go on for 5 or 6 weeks in a term. So, I mean, I guess I continually have thought about trying to get there, but instead we kind of just integrate it and sort of label them a little bit. So anyway, that would be considered one of them. We did have a fabulous live oil painting demonstration with Sergio Raffo. And we must have had, I sort of cut it off at, let's say, maybe 65.
Wow.
That's
It was
good.
a good crowd, and just so people could see, but people stood, and he was very good about, he was a good speaker while he was working. Came very easily to him. A trip to the Orchid Show, which was great, and of course, as came up earlier, so the featured Blue Zone program showing the documentary series over the 4 weeks in January was also really well attended and, upwards into the 70s. So at one time, maybe only about 70, but more people coming in, a few people missing here and there and coming back. So all in all, we are supporting about 70 in the program, which now continues for the downshifting month. And the main attraction is the Tuesday afternoon meditation mindfulness program that Bob Gage is doing for us. So people are seeming to enjoy it. I have not sat in as yet, but I might. And
It's a pretty good number.
we did have a drumming circle that was, intended to be supplemental of people from the Blue Zone program participating in that wanted to do it, but others did it. And we did only have 25, so maybe it's not for everybody, but everyone that came enjoyed it and wants it more. So there's no
Yeah.
reason we can't do that monthly.
Yeah.
We did ask people to pay a little, $5, like an exercise class, but, we could put in for an SEF grant for it. And that might work too, but,
Because he does it monthly
It's
in
not-
some of the other places, but some of the other cities.
Norwell has it, has had it for actually quite some time,
And
monthly.
yeah, he mentioned a couple of other places too.
Yeah.
I met a woman, I took my little granddaughter, my 3-year-old granddaughter to her gymnastic class, and so I got to meet with some of the other nanas. And they were saying that, so a couple of the kids actually go to South Shore Conservatory, they have a preschool program, and I was telling them about, what is the job?
Oh, Ed Sorrentino.
So they call him Spaghetti Eddie.
Yeah.
The kids call him Spaghetti Eddie, and she said, "Oh my God, Stella loves Spaghetti Eddie." So he's very versatile.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice. So we do have the jazz brunch this Sunday on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. And we didn't peg it like as a Valentine's brunch necessarily because we want everybody to be comfortable coming, whether they're couples or singles or what have you. So we have 85, that's the cutoff.
It's a lot.
Last year we put a heart on everybody's chest, if you remember.
Did we? I almost
Yeah, no,
remember
that's how we did it, because people had to pay, so it was like, so that whoever was signing people in at the door would know who had paid.
Mhm.
So that's the way we did it, and we put a heart.
You might have to
And
remind
even
me.
the gentleman let me put a heart on there. So you had all these cute little couples with little hearts on the Yeah, that's
Sticky
so
hearts, huh?
Yeah, sticky hearts, that's what we had last time.
Okay. Well, we
They
do
were
have 5
sponsored.
students coming from the high school to help with serving, which is nice. I know a couple of you said you might be around, so if anybody wants to help set tables,
Unfortunately, I won't be
I
there.
know you won't be there.
Oh,
So I thought somebody else had said it, I had Pat, and maybe you
Yeah.
know. Okay, that'd be great if you didn't mind, like 9:30, 10.
Yeah, Dean will walk.
9:30, 10 o'clock.
You're doing it what?
Yeah.
We're always.
Huh?
Well, that's your specialty.
Yeah.
It is.
You're a subject matter expert now.
Okay, so Gail's back, she came back on January 27th, right after that first snowstorm, so that worked out. She is somewhat limited, or trying to limit herself to the 30 hours, which is the position anyway, but we've been able to let her do 35 hours before, but now she shouldn't, or at least isn't yet, so that is true. We have a new driver, which Lauren probably mentioned, but anyway, that's good too. So up to 7 drivers, all part-time, but that sounds like a lot.
I know.
But even still, we could probably use more.
Right.
So,
What are we looking
yeah, would you like to
Yeah,
just
or we move to
speak?
transportation.
at?
Because you don't
Might
have
as
to
well.
stay over
Perfect.
us, honey.
We've been busy. I will say I have been trying my best to use our vans over the SSCAC vans. So this month I've actually cut down a bit, which has been good, so it's saving us a little bit of money on the back end, but also my drivers are able to get out there. Joe loves driving to anywhere and everywhere. As long as it's, there's a drive, he can take it, he's fine. But we did 446 total. Most of ours, let me see, 233 were out of town, 103 were from South Shore Community Action, and I hit 132, which was nice. I was able to move some of my drivers around, which has been easier having 3 vans on the road. So I have been pretty regular with Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and some Thursdays for the past couple weeks. Having 3 vans on the road, which is awesome, because I can
That's great.
split it up and then we can, save money in that sort of way. Let's see, so Mike Barilaro, he is gonna be our new driver that will make number 7. He's just going through training. I'm trying to figure out what, they're entailing from Peaceland right now, because they're saying it has to be 5 days, but I don't know.
That's never been the case.
It's never been the case. From what I've looked at and talked to all my drivers, they've only done 1 day. But, so I've reached out, I'm still waiting, I've reached out a couple times. So hopefully I'll get an answer by the end of this week, because I want him to start training in the next week or 2 from them. He's been going on the van, he's done 3 rides. Showed him how to do, the wheelchair with the lifts, everything, and the drivers are great, just teaching him his ways, how to fill out the paperwork, very simple. Very, very nice guy. Thinks he can't be on Thursday, which I needed, but he's good enough. He'll do a couple other days, which has been really good. Grocery shopping's been pretty good. I kind of want to start doing like maybe that place in Hanover Crossing, Market Basket.
Market basket.
Yeah, and like just have them do, maybe once a month. I'm gonna try and get it. I don't know if it will go in the newsletter, but I will put something out on the board or something, seeing people want to sign up. We could do that. There's Old Navy in there. They can have
There's a
a
lot
couple
of stuff.
hours to just go chill out and relax. Yeah, there's Macy's.
Oh, the short walk to Trader Joe's, that parking lot is,
It's a nightmare,
It's a
and that's
little
why
bit
I'm kind of
scary.
waiting for the
That's
snow to melt, and maybe when it gets a little bit nicer in the
but the
spring.
van also could drop people
Yeah.
at different places.
Yep.
Yeah, make them
Yeah.
loop.
Exactly. So I'm working on that.
110 grill and then pick it up 2 hours
Exactly,
later.
exactly. That'd be nice. That would be nice. We've got another trip going on with Miss Susan over here for April, which is not for this month, but I think it's pretty amazing that they're gonna go do the glass blowing in Sandwich, which I'm really excited about. And Joe is very excited about it. He just likes to be out there. Yeah, but
So how many people can you accommodate when you're doing that and just using a van?
yeah, so if we get like a lot of people that wanna go, I can always up it to two buses. But we'll usually use our 1685. If there is more, we can fit 14 people including 15 people including the driver on that. Our COA van, we've got 12. And so it just, if there's a lot of people that wanna come out and do this, we could make it work, but as of right now, we're just doing 1 van. When you guys went down to the Cape, to the last museum, we did just use 1 van, and I think we ended up having about 11 total. There was a few people that were sick, that came up abruptly, but I think and it was a great crowd, they had an awesome time, they go have lunch.
So that was the orchid show.
The Orchid Show,
We'd
that was
rather
great.
use the COA van and keep
Yes.
it to 12, but
Yeah.
we can go to the 14 person if there's a need. It's just, it's a GATRA van, so then I just need to let them know. Now, the weekends are better,
Right.
because their, mandate really is that we use the vans for our persons and also medical,
Mhm.
and that we're not taking it away. So
Right.
that's all. So the weekends are actually better.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. All the rides been going smooth. All everyone's getting their appointments that they need to. I've pretty much tried to make it where I let them know, you might have to wait a couple minutes. And a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people saying that they don't mind. They'll let me know, and as long as I give them a heads up, they're fine waiting in most of the appointments that they have. My drivers have been really good, pretty much on
Some
time.
long days for them, so,
Some long days for them, yeah.
They don't seem to mind.
They don't seem to mind, no. And I try my best to give them, days off in between and not overwork them whatsoever, which it works out. And some days I'll do, like, you can only work from 7 to 11, that's fine. So you get the afternoon off, so. It's been good though. I've got a lot of good feedback from my drivers as well. Try to keep all the vans clean. I've had them going out on their own. I'll give them the credit. on their own, sweeping,
Oh,
mopping,
it's so
cleaning
true,
all
yeah.
the seats down, making sure that, you know, just everyone's been sick and
Mm.
not that crossover. We wanna make sure everything's clean and tidy, as you can tell my office.
She is very tidy.
So it's been good, it's been good. And then we're working up for the St. Patrick's Day parade, and I'm gonna have, once obviously the snow gets a little bit more, we're gonna have the bus cleaned, and I'll go in with, I already have 2 drivers that wanna help. We're gonna scrub down everything, wipe down the windows, and really get it look sharp. And I have some ideas for making it look nice, yeah. Got some fun ideas for decoration, so if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. It's gonna be a good one.
Good.
Yeah.
So how's everything going for you? It sounds like
Good.
the drivers are having fun.
Yeah, they're having a blast.
Are you having fun?
I am. I totally am. I enjoy it. I mean, I'm good with talking to people. I'm good with, you know, elderly people and their problems when it comes to doctor's appointments, so trying to come up with a solution. And I'm just honest, if I can't do it, I'm like, you can call your doctor and see if you can get a different day. I don't mind helping you, but you just gotta work with me a little bit here. But I really do enjoy it.
Great.
My dog thinks he works here.
We think he works
He
there
thinks
too.
he works here too, yeah.
He's a great mascot.
He
It
is.
really is.
Welcome wagon.
Well, you do a great job.
Thank
She-
you.
She very much.
Thank you.
do very-
Thank you.
you
I'm
make
happy
it
to
look-
be here.
You make it look real easy.
God.
Though it
getting-
isn't,
I'm getting
it
grace.
is not. And we do
And
let her out
it
of
is
the
not,
office
we
every
know
now and
that.
then, so, you know, she does get to participate here and there. in
Yeah,
different
I
things,
do.
which is nice. We
I
wanted to
love
get to know
steakhouse.
people.
No, those are
My
strong,
favorite.
those are strong, busy numbers too.
Yeah, yeah, we've been really lucky to keep the numbers strong, but like I said, I am trying to not be reliant on South Shore Community Action as much. I mean, it's easy to just, hey Doug, I need you to do this, but if I can make it work to have one of my drivers do it, I have half that want to drive out of town, so they're fine with it. So it's been
Does
good.
it cost, so it saves you money, but does it save our seniors money? Is there a difference?
No, same price. It's gonna save us money in the long run,
Right.
because we're paying out that ride for that drive.
Okay.
Most of the time now, it's just really the gas for us. So we don't need to account it as like a $100 ride, say, with South Shore Community Action, because we pay them separate. So in the long run, we are saving a little bit more money, and it's, you know, I'm trying to keep the buses up to oil change, you know, getting the stickers done, making sure the lift was fixed last month, which was nice. There's a crack in the windshield, I'm sending that back down in 2 weeks, so really trying to stay on top of it. They already think of a headache, so it's fine.
It's getting the training has been a headache.
The headache has been getting the training, because they don't know what they're talking about at this point, because I asked someone to reach out to me, she has not gotten back to me in 3 days. I called her boss. She said, though, she didn't give me a number.
Is this
Yeah.
coming through MCOA? Who
No.
does it?
No.
No, GATRA.
Oh, GATRA actually does.
Yeah, but Keith Lane from Attleboro.
GATRA, you know, is our funding,
Yeah.
so we have to follow a certain protocol for them. But actually, Mass DOT also requires the training, so
Right.
it's not, you know, GATRA's following Mass DOT as well as are we. So it's all mixed up in terms of the training
But then
that's
the
required.
Keesling is the ones that are actually providing the training.
In a way, yeah, through
Really?
GATRA. I know, none of it
Too
makes
many
sense. Yeah,
pieces.
Because it was actually
Yeah.
MARTEP, so we're really just
yeah,
not
too
sure.
many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right
So
now,
I'm trying to find an answer to make it a lot.
Something that might be
smoother.
nice, just because I haven't heard you talk about it, but how many do you think, or do we even have, we had new people starting to use the transportation? Is that a significant number, or not really?
Yeah, I would say, let me see what I have for unregistered.
You know, in this last month, did people just register?
Oh, I don't even have it on here.
Oh,
No,
just
so
curious.
this past month I had 79.
79 new
Well,
people?
total riders.
Total riders, so that could be like a two-way ride for one person.
Okay.
So I'd probably just like cut that in half, and I probably have like maybe 37-ish new riders.
But I'm just curious.
Yeah, that would be an interesting number to take.
Yeah.
I will come up with that
You're saying
for.
so- But I'm just
yeah.
curious, new, brand new,
Yeah, to
first
see how
ride.
many people are taking advantage of it, because
So,
I haven't.
off
yet.
the top of my head, in the last 5 weeks, I have had probably about 8 people come in with their paperwork,
Brand new.
and, yep, brand new.
That's all.
So that's just whether it's for now. I had someone book in for December 2026. But I said, that's fine, just come on in and fill out your paperwork and we'll go from there,
Oh,
so.
they have to fill out paperwork.
Yeah.
In order to get into the system.
Yeah, so they're, obviously, if they have, if they are a member here, that's perfectly fine, but then they have to come and see me, and I would like them to fill out paperwork in case something happens, you know, you're on one of our vans, anything could happen. But just to have that, have their signature saying that you are able to be on this bus by yourself, or, you know, I need help, I need a volunteer, which is perfectly fine, I can help out with that. But at the end of the day, I need you to be aware that you're, you know, this is liability reason, so I need you to be able to get in on and off the bus on your own, and, you know, so it is nice that I have the paperwork that backs it up.
It's really a vehicle, no pun intended,
Pretty
but just to
much.
make sure they read the policies
Yep.
and know what the protocol is. and-
Yep. Yep.
So do you think everyone knows? It's a fabulous program.
I know, you say, because you.
Myself,
Yeah.
I was hysterical.
Then I was
I had to go into Mass General and I just thought, I can't do it. I can't go in there.
And she's
So
like,
I
help
went a
me,
couple of times.
which it works. It works
I
out.
did. I had a dream and then I woke up in the morning, I'm like,
Yep,
every month I listen to transportation, why aren't I?
exactly. You might as well.
Just fabulous.
Never think of it.
Fabulous.
It just, you have enough on your plate when you're going to a doctor's appointment in general. Go to a doctor's appointment in Boston,
Is
more
it-
anxiety.
Much.
You might as well just, you know, use the services that you guys have here and let me help you handle it. And then you're getting in, you go to your appointment, you're getting back on. Grab lunch on the way, you eat on the bus. So it is nice. I've gotten quite a few calls from Cohasset being like, "Can you come pick me up?" No, you're gonna need to call Cohasset.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like, "Well, I'm going to the harbor," and I'm like, "Yeah, sorry."
Interesting.
It is,
That
yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, every town is different, and
Yes.
honestly, I think I've said this before too, but it's almost embarrassing how great we have it and how good our system is, and how fortunate we are with the GATRA funding,
Mhm.
because it is not that way for everybody else, and whether they're trying to purchase vans, or use volunteers, or, you know, or don't have it, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
It is very lucky.
Absolutely.
But it didn't just fall out of the
And
sky.
I don't know
either.
if everybody knows it, it's just funny, they should if they look at the newsletter, or, I don't know, you just sort of take for granted that people are aware if they're in the building. But the greater community, you know, we
Yeah.
could probably do better.
Mm.
Well, I mean, do you want more numbers, or do you want to keep it at a certain level?
Well, we don't
too?
need to
No.
control that at this
Yeah.
point, but we
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
people who need it
Yeah.
to know it's
Well,
here.
yeah, I
That's
read the
all.
news. I didn't think about it. Had a dream. Like, ooh.
She came running to my office.
Well, because literally you must have read it, just it didn't, you know,
Yeah.
and you know.
You talk about it every month.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, some days we can have 47 rides, some days we can have 8, you know, and that could be one person going to 2 different places, you know, so it
Well,
all
I
depends.
just think, you know, it's sort of a trickle-down effect. There were so many people that are 60, in their 60s, that
Mhm.
have never been in this building.
I know.
And then when they do come, let's say for the Christmas fair or something like that, and it's the first time that they're in the building, and they're like, and then you see them wandering around and on their own and going like, you know, wow, this is amazing and everything else, and, you know, people just don't even think about or even understand how much program, and then the trickle-down effect, I mean, I'm here all the time, and I never think of using transportation.
I know, right? It's funny.
Because
I'll be
you-
calling you.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
think word of mouth and success
Word of
stories helps.
Yeah.
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 What do we charge? Do we charge?
So it's $1.75 one way for Scituate, and then it's $5 for out-of-town local, so it could be Weymouth, it's $5 one way, $10 round trip. And then Boston, Dedham, Plymouth, the Cape is all $10 one
It's
way.
still.
So it's
$10.
$20.
I mean, it costs more to park your car.
does.
Right.
It does.
Imagine getting an Uber or something, that's $100-something,
Yeah.
you know, wherever
Well,
you're
we did,
going.
I mean, we upped it for like the Plymouth Boston
Yes.
type.
Do you go to the
rides
Logan Airport?
I know a guy.
Oh, yeah.
I do know a guy
Oh,
that
you
does
do?
trips, yeah. Yeah, I never got that. I'd have to forward that to my boss.
That's huge.
Is it a medical emergency?
It is.
To go to a river,
Emergency.
yep.
So I wanted to add to what Susan said, and that one of the reasons that FOSS does the Christmas fair is to bring in groups of people that normally wouldn't be in the center, not just the seniors. so that they can appreciate what we actually have. And
Yeah, it's-
if they have, you know, family members that could be using the center, they can take that information back and coerce or encourage.
Yeah, no, it's
People
great,
to come
because there were
in.
a lot of people that came to the Christmas fair that had never been here before.
Yeah, and so we're happy to do that.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
And one of the big draws lately has been Mahjong.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I know.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, the
we were
word is-
saying, it's like crazy.
I think I heard that, yeah.
Hordes come in the door.
Well, it's in the
First
news
morning.
almost, it's being talked about everywhere, articles are being written about it, you know,
Yeah.
younger people are getting involved, which they all do, you know, even pickleball, it's like not our sport anymore.
Yeah.
Not just our sport anymore, it's, you know, everybody's trying to get into it, but. Mahjong,
Cornhole.
although, yeah. I like cornhole.
And those, the people here for the taxes, that's so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they schedule every half an hour from about 9 to 1.
That's great.
So, and then they're hanging around, so it's a little tough. It's
Yeah,
2
it's
months
tough.
that we just kind of hope for the best and do our best and,
Yeah.
but it is a lot, yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else has
Yeah,
questions?
thank you.
Yeah,
Happy to have
Do
you.
they have any questions for one?
She's great.
I
tried.
Yes.
I was just wondering, probably still gonna be a while before they do anything with the old gates building. Is it possible, I mean, for us to use some of the offices in there for the tax thing?
Over here.
Or wherever it is.
Well,
That's interesting.
'Cause
I
it-
would say
it's
it's
all
not
heated.
really in a condition right now
To be able
for
to
that.
accept
Um,
strangers from walking in.
Yeah. And,
Isn't that going into apartments?
well, it is, but what Russ is saying, it will be a while before that really gets to the point where it would be, they'd be working on it. I mean, it's a thought,
That's Jim, because, I mean,
well,
they
it's not,
have,
yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, he's got offices over there and stuff.
he has an office, he uses over there. It's not really in a condition, I mean, some of the rooms are like freeze framed from when they left in 2017. It's
Yeah,
just-
have you touched?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like-
It's not clean, they're not cleaning it, they are heating it, they're doing only the bare minimum that they have to do.
Probably not maintained.
But it also has
It's
mitigation
probably
It's not
problems.
maintained, right, it's not
Yeah,
maintained.
Like asbestos and.
Right, so I mean, all
I
the
don't
same
think it's
problems
legal to
exist,
be
it's not that if
occupied.
they wanted to fix it up for use, then that could be an alternative. But, I don't know, it's worth a convention into facilities, just to see what the answer really would be. But I don't know, and it just reminded me that Freya couldn't make it tonight, and there really wasn't an awful lot for her to report, but she did say something, and I forgot to print that out.
Excuse me?
Yes.
And
Freya, I
She-
just
she's
forgot
just
to
looking
print
for something
out
to see if Freya's,
what
Freya
Freya
had
had
said
sent
something to her. She couldn't.
when she told me she couldn't make it. I don't think it had anything to do with that building, but
No, it's Valentine's time.
she has reported on,
Gazebo's coming down and gonna be rebuilt.
the gazebo, that was one, the gazebo coming down, which everybody already knows. I actually felt like the two things she mentioned, we already knew.
The gazebo is coming down?
Gazebo,
I didn't know that. Really? What are they gonna do?
Rebuild it.
Oh,
They
so
said it's falling down.
hopefully in the
Not
next
safe to
year,
be able to.
the gazebo.
at Cole Parkway.
Yeah, not
So-
safe, not, yeah, they said the wood is.
I mean, they're literally
Yeah, I
taking
hope
it
that
down
they will
imminently.
replace it, because that's like a real.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
Yeah, on Front Street?
It's right in Cole
In
Park,
Cole
right
Park.
on,
In the
right
back.
on the harbor.
The bandstand.
Oh, the bandstand,
Bandstand.
okay. Okay, I did hear about that. Are they replacing it?
Yeah.
They will.
Okay.
in
Because I love
Within,
going
you
to
know,
see them.
potentially within the year, I mean, it's not a big bill.
Yeah, I mean, the Thursday night,
So
Yeah,
fun.
the concerts,
yeah, the concerts are really a lot of
yeah,
fun.
in the summertime.
Doesn't that get flooded though?
Yeah.
Isn't that the reason why?
The reason why
That's
the
the
boards,
reason why
or
it's
the wood
rotten.
is so, or it does get flooded, crazy. Lots.
It's always underwater.
But not during
Maybe
the
they'll come
summer.
up with
No,
another.
the summer dries it out.
Oh, I know, the drought.
I'm
Salt
sure
dams,
they'll
wood.
amend the buildings to be waterproof.
She can, if you
Yeah.
wanna leave, you can.
Yeah.
You don't have
Thank you very much.
You don't have to sit
All
there.
right, no worries.
Not- We're not trying to get rid of
You
it.
really are, it's all right.
Yeah, we're trying to.
She's gonna drive my bus away.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
There.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
You too.
So, I guess moving on, Gail's report, the activities, yep, that's in there. And I mean, of interest might be, on the first side, the fact that, of course, when we talk about the numbers, I can never remember what goes into what category. So she does pull that out a little bit below, so what community education really is. So those lifelong learning type courses I spoke about, or we had an AI presentation, versus instructional, so that is a little different, and I might argue with that, like I might put Bob Jackman's classes in community education, I don't know, but the instructional is a lot of like the beginner mahjong, the bridge, the Spanish, the classes that are really teaching people something. And education is a little broader,
Yeah.
you know, where they're,
So where do you think the blue zone should be?
community education probably, that's where I think it should be, I don't know if it is, it could be
No, it isn't.
information
It's under
sharing.
It's in unstructured.
Instructional. So, you know, it's very arbitrary. I mean, if
Yeah.
Jill creates a new event template, then she's gotta decide where to put it.
What
and-
category?
No, usually it's correct. Sometimes we pick up on it and then especially when I'm doing that annual report, you know, for the state, then it really becomes clear that it would be nice if the categories were a help to me, which often they're not. So then you're all over the place. So it does help if we could get it right. I mean, cultural event, I don't know, it's art. So Art for Your Mind is under cultural as opposed to education, which again, you could argue, as well as the demo. So fitness, that's easy, fitness and exercise, but you know, is trail walking or pickleball for that matter, recreation or
Or
fitness? So there's even that. And
Or are they
sometimes we've
social?
had one of each, or social. Well, it's social, but everything should be, almost everything's social. So just to give you a little bit of idea, that's where they are, I guess, if she bothered to, you know, sort of pull those out. But some of them aren't always so accurate. But that's where the numbers, so obviously our biggest numbers are fitness and exercise, but there's a lot of it, and I didn't mention in the report, but we have been going through the transition in January from Elizabeth's 5 yoga classes that, you know, she's been with us since well before I started over 12 years ago. So, so that was big, except we had a lot of interest, a lot of subs, some people that weren't subs calling in, but I wanted to give it to the people that we already had on list. So and there were those asking, so we thought we had it set up, and then already someone's pulling back because it's too much, or, you know, one instructor that I knew they wanted and liked, but she could only do 3 out of the 4 months, so we'll be using a sub. So all of a sudden, that's been a big headache. Because it is a lot, so then it's been easy to have as many as we've had, but maybe we don't need as many as we've been having. It's just, it's hard. We started a second chair yoga class on Fridays because the chair yoga on both Wednesday and Friday, and even Monday. I mean, it's upwards to 35 people easily signing up or trying to sign up or also showing up, and then we really already kind of hit the max.
That's max.
But we hate to turn them away. And chair yoga, they don't want them to have to leave. Like, oh yeah, there's plenty of room, but there's not plenty of room. So we started the second one because Elizabeth was willing, but now it's going to be hard to keep that up with the same person, and then bringing in another person is it really worth it? So that's in flux, I will say. But we have great numbers, and they are happy, and we did do well getting the subs, not subs, but you know, replacing Elizabeth in a sense. But we're still working on it. Otherwise, just some of the highlights, which I've already mentioned really. So that, you know, January being winter, I guess hopefully we didn't go overboard, but even scheduling for March and April, I mean, what's enough? It's basically trying to fill the newsletter, seeing the template of the newsletter and what we've had in those spots, and then trying at least to have something that's similarly filling those things with either special events or classes or some new learning here and there. We do have, I guess, and he called and spoke with Gail just out of the blue, came in, a nice Irish professor. I think he might be from Bentley, but I don't know that that's right. Anyway, he is going to do a multi-week course on Irish literature in February and March, so that should be, it's different and should be nice, and
So that's educational and cultural and social.
we can't check multiple boxes.
That's not fair.
So that's something coming up, but hopefully, sometimes we have the ideas, sometimes they come to us, and hopefully it just works. We will be applying, and they're really all over us, because I guess Janine wasn't on the Scituate Education Foundation, but she has friends who are or have been, so they've been going through her. Because I will admit, last year we didn't submit a grant, all the other years we have, and so we've had them, and they've always been very beneficial and helpful for starting some programs, but last year I think I missed it. So we are doing it this year, maybe even two, so
Awesome.
Submitting a grant.
a grant, and that's
This is
in
through the
March.
cultural,
Scituate
No,
education.
Scituate Education Foundation, which is,
Oh.
Scituate,
isn't there a cultural foundation?
there is a cultural council grant.
Okay,
That was in October.
okay.
Um, so. And for outreach, Janine is a very popular person to the point, to the extent that she's now trying to give the front desk sort of a look at her schedule, because when people come by and just say, is Janine available?
Oh, God.
She's most
She's not.
often not, so, and sometimes it's just not something that's easily done on the fly, and then her day just gets backed up. So making appointments is maybe the unfortunate trend for some, but it's also just a much better way to do things. So we're gonna try to work on that for her, for people coming in. I will say, you can imagine with the snow coming, the number of calls we did get mostly for plowing, but some for shoveling. And so she is trying to work on a program that might pair students, younger people, within their neighborhood, so knowing what the addresses are for the people who are in need,
Well, the
and
kids
trying
be
to
able to walk
match
there.
a student
Right.
from the neighborhood. That is not really an easy task. I don't know how it will be done, but it might work at least a little bit this year if we do get some more snow.
Well, the other thing, I'll just mention, this from my own personal experience, I use Nextdoor Neighbor to try to find those kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of years ago, there was a young man who was going to Northeastern, and he had put it out there on Nextdoor Neighbor that he was, a college student, and he was looking to make extra money. And so he would come and shovel for me. And now and he graduated, so it's like, oh, no.
Yeah, he's done.
So now I found another young man on Nextdoor who was advertising on Nextdoor, and he is a sophomore at Bentley, and he lives around the corner from me. And so he's come over and shoveled, and it's been really great, and it's not
So did you find him, because he'd actually posted that he was available? You
Well,
didn't know?
well, actually, somebody put a post out there saying, I'm looking for someone to shovel me, and then I look at the comments, and in the
With the
comments,
answer-
you'll have
with the
people
answer.
say, well, hi, I'm Charles Colley, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
available to do this. So I guess what I'm just saying is that Janine
Yeah.
may want to check out Nextdoor.
I will mention that, and she's very savvy, so maybe she's.
She could even put a post out there,
Yeah.
we're looking for college
Is
students.
it nextdoor.org?
Yeah.
It is like a Facebook,
Yeah.
it's like, no.
Yeah, it's a great application. When I first
We're in the
moved.
same neighborhood, so.
Yeah, no, it's, where's my phone? Where is my phone? I don't know where my phone is, but, yeah, so when I first moved here, I had to move all my services, like hair, nails, snow plowing, you name it. And somebody
Yeah, a lot of
told me about it. And
They
it,
put stuff up.
oh my God, that's how I have found everything.
A plumber.
Yes, plumbers, electricians, handyman, everything, so it could be a good
Garbage.
resource for her.
And we do try to maintain a current resource list within, of categories,
Yeah.
so if she hasn't, I will mention them.
Yeah, so it's called Nextdoor, and it's an application.
Nextdoor.com.
If you just type in
Well,
Nextdoor,
like on it.
you have to get it in your app store. And then you can actually put in there, so I have it just for Scituate. So if I wanna post something, or if I'm looking for something, cause I don't wanna find somebody that's in Boston or whatever. Oh, here he is now, Charles is posting again, do you or anyone you know need weekly or bi-weekly dump runs, call me. So that's my little snow
Okay.
shoveler guy.
Snow dump,
He's so cute, he's a sophomore at that.
that's very nice, very smart.
They're advertising.
Yeah, so it could be an awesome
But
application.
you know what, and we say this, but Scituate is so great, and I think it's just a community that's cultivated this, even in the young people and older people. You know, someone was telling me they live over, not the green wall, but next door to that. And that one of their new tenants was shoveling everybody out because he's a little younger than many of the others, and it's just everybody does that. So it's great.
It is, it's really, it's
And
really.
Scott Holmes is right down the street, he's a handyman,
Mhm.
It's Scott Holmes.
yeah. He's pretty well known around town.
Okay, I don't.
He's right on the corner.
Oh, I've seen he has a little sign.
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
Right across the street
expensive?
from the
he's reasonable.
Anyway, but you've come to know some of the areas that Janine, or, you know, Outreach in general tries to be available. She's even doing the Charlie cards for people now, which was always on Jill's lap, really, but Janine's taking that over and helping people with the apps here or some of the technology that is difficult for them. So she's been a wonderful addition to the staff, absolutely. So that is a wrap for, I guess,
That's a
for
wrap.
us.
Okay. Well, as we touched on,
What's the Snow Angels program?
Well, that's what
Oh,
I
okay.
mentioned.
I thought she was trying to get people to volunteer to.
That's her idea. Well, actually, the Norwell Seniors Council on Aging does do something similar, maybe they
Oh.
call it that, I'm not sure if she can
That's
help
cute.
with that.
Okay.
so, yeah, Freya is not here, and if she gave you anything, she didn't send anything to me, so.
It was, as you mentioned, the gazebo coming down and hopefully built within the year,
Yep.
rebuilt.
Yep.
St. Patrick's Day parade, which we already know is the 15th.
Who were the two mayor candidates?
And the two mayor candidates.
They're right downstairs.
One is Brian Rojic, who was first, and he's a musician, he's well known, he's a
Rich-
very
Rich
nice
Bernard.
guy. And then there was nobody else, and honestly, it was a problem that there was nobody else, because it's just difficult to run a fundraiser and expect people are gonna donate. So Ed reached out, and Rich Bonanno said yes. Now, Rich is a marketer, so I'm just saying, he's all in, and so suddenly it's like, oh, well, it's been, I think, a lot. So they're both doing their fundraisers, and so it should be a good year for the parade, is all I'll say.
Good.
So there are those two candidates. Town meeting is April 13th, which as always is a Monday. There are 40 articles, so there is some expectation that it will go to a second night,
Oh, God.
which hasn't happened often,
I
and
would
you know,
guess.
the last couple have been the shortest town meetings on record. So, anyway,
The
that's great.
marijuana issue was.
But-
The cannabis was, yeah.
That went for days.
But there are some, you know, some zoning bylaw changes, that whole definition of commercial fishermen, and that's been a new kind of sensitive issue for
Yeah.
what, someone has petitioned the town to change, and then how the fishermen need to be viewed, and the benefits or the, what they need from the town to still continue
On the
to do
pier
their
and
business.
stuff,
So,
yeah.
you know, it's a tough one, but they've been working a lot on trying to make that reasonable for everybody. So she is just encouraging people to attend town meeting and contribute to town government, since it is us who are the legislative body.
Mhm.
And the annual town election is June 6th, happens to be my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And the Memorial Day parade is May 25th. Oh, and somehow Josh has roped Freya into being the MC for the Memorial Day festivities parade, which is in
Oh.
the Commons. Should be very good. Okay, that's it from Freya.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Kids, are you picking up both?
Yeah, I mean,
Both hats?
it's easy to do FOSS,
Boss,
because we didn't meet in January.
right, and the next meeting is,
And
next week.
And next week is our meeting. But I will say that we are funding the music for the jazz brunch.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're very happy to do that. We've been doing a lot of music things and we like it. So
That's
hopefully this will be as exciting as the big band was.
Well, the
Yes.
jazz brunch last year was really, really popular.
Yeah.
I mean, people loved it.
I looked them up
Already
and
full.
they're like everywhere. They have their own record, they have their
Snowed,
site, you can buy them on the app.
Oh, I mean, this year is already
So
Yeah. It was
there are lots of places
right
around
on
town.
snow.
So, all right, so to more exciting things. South Shore. I have to put my glasses on so I can read. We met at the beginning of the month. And, you know, I have been talking about trying to save money and doing things without losing any customers, clients, people, so that they don't get lost in the shuffle with all the changes that are going on. And one of the things that has been successful is some of the changes in delivering meals, so that we're going now to a single site rather than delivering each individual meal, although, as you probably know, if you've ever been a volunteer for Meals on Wheels, that's a really hard thing to change, because people like their meals to come to their house.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But they're doing something called the Caregiver Connection, which is new. And that's where caregivers can come in, have a lunch with their person, so that they get more intimate with the idea of you could have lunches for your person. And that's something new that they haven't done before. They're doing more congregate meal sites, where they'll drop off the meals at a place where people are going to eat, and then if you're living in subsidized housing or senior housing, you can come over and pick up your meals at the congregate site. It works in some places, it doesn't work in all places because they don't have spaces to do that. So it's, you know, what they've been doing has been successful. Nobody's gotten lost in the shuffle, and that's the really important thing. They're going through a series of audits, which they have to do every year. That's taking up a lot of time because, as everybody knows, who's
Takes
ever
a long
done
time.
a report,
Yeah.
it's just torture. And they're going, one of the other things they're going to do for the meals, which I'd forgotten, was they're gonna do shelf long life packs. So they had bought some before during COVID, and they worked out really well. So they could deliver so many meals, and
And
people
they
could
lasted.
have them in case it was, you know, too bad to get out. They didn't want to go out because they were afraid of catching COVID, whatever. Now, with some of the changes that are getting made, they're thinking that maybe they could do more of that, that they could put more of them on the shelf so that if people can't come out to get their meals for some reason, like it's snowing or whatever, then prior to the event, like last week instead of when it's snowing this week, they could deliver 2 or 3 meals to each person that are shelf stable, still delivering them the meals if they're able, the regular meals. But if they're not able to get out, the person isn't going to be without a
Yeah,
meal
right.
because some people are living very close to the edge. So we thought that was a really, really good idea to do. So they've done that. We also voted to increase by a tiny amount, I know it's not tiny for the people who are paying it, the amount that people who actually pay for the meals pay. But at the same time, we also petitioned the state to give us more money for the meals. And I can tell you that we were successful at doing that. We're now getting $10.25 per meal, which is great.
Per
'cause
meal?
That's gonna really
That's-
help us to be able to keep the fresh foods flowing to people, because we like to have there be a lot of fresh food, not just, you know, frozen canned kinds of things for people. And then for kosher and Asian meals, which have lots of prep time, we're getting now $11 a meal that we're doing. And so that's gonna be really, really helpful, in order to keep the meals at a rate where people can actually,
How much do you charge people?
I think it's,
5?
no, it's 4 or something, I wrote it down somewhere.
I thought it was,
I mean, it used to be when they had the,
it was when my
probably like
parents
two
had
or
it.
three, depends.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not on here because we wrote it at a separate time.
I think it's on a scale though, I don't think it's.
250, I think it's 250.
So the person pays $250, but you're getting
Yeah, if they
funded.
can
$11,
afford to
$10
pay
$11.
$250, they do. I think it was $225 before. But
So very,
if
very
you
reasonable.
say to them, us, you know, I really, that's too much money, I live on a very fixed income, I only have this much, I really, it's a hardship for me, then we bring the meal anyway.
Wow.
Because that's the point.
It's feeding people, right?
The point is to get people the meals, not to charge them and make money off the service. So, so
What kind of
far, so
meals
good.
do they supply? What kind of meal? Is it like sandwiches and soup?
Oh, no, it's real meals.
Oh, it's real
like
meals.
with meat and
It's everything.
grains and potatoes
And
and
desserts.
2 vegetables and
Yeah.
a dessert, not a piece of
That's
it.
it.
And milk.
Yeah, and milk, you get milk and juice and, you
It's a
know.
very complete, a lot of people can't eat all the
No.
food that's supplied,
No, most people can't eat the whole meal
Right.
because,
so it gives them 2 meals.
so really it does. It gives them lunch, which most people eat their big meal at lunch.
Yeah.
And then they eat the leftovers in the evening,
Yeah.
and that's really good. I can tell you when I had my operation and Blue Cross was paying for my meals for 2 months, that the meals I got from that meal center were more than I could eat, not
Yeah.
moving around very much.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely wonderful. Now, we don't use the same meal service that I was getting, but if it's at the quality that I was getting, they are getting absolutely wonderful
Oh, great.
meals.
Super.
And there really aren't complaints. I mean, because we would have heard about them. The only complaints we had were from the people that still wanted to get their meals delivered to their door. You know, they were the only one that was living there that was getting a meal, and we were trying to
Yeah.
make it work better so everybody would get a
Efficient.
service. Or people who don't want to come out of their rooms ever, to even go into the congregate room in their own housing. And there are lots of people, I mean, yeah, you're shaking your head, but there are lots of people like that who just, I mean, I used to have people who lived in assisted living who never left their rooms, even though all I had to do was ask somebody to push them maybe or walk to the elevator
Wow.
and go downstairs to eat their meals in the building where they live.
Mhm.
I mean, we're just all different, you know? And so when you're providing a service like this, you have to make accommodations.
No, I think it's just really, it's amazingly sad.
It's very sad, but, you know, that's a whole other issue than meals. And when it comes to the meals, we have to accommodate them
Sure.
so that they don't do without. And that's, and our person who was doing the policy work retired, huge loss. He was wonderful, but until we find someone to replace him, he's coming in 1 day a week or on an as-needed basis otherwise, to do the policy work
And help them
as
transition.
as a consultant.
Yep.
Because this is such a strenuous time for policy, and it's not over yet. You know, we're still working through the ramifications of it. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have survived a year of all of the changes, and we'll have a better idea of how we're going to be going forward in the future. And, you know, we're still running at a deficit of some sort, but less of a deficit than we were at this time last year.
Oh.
So,
That's good.
yeah, well, it's because the state actually paid us the money that they owed us, you know. So, but, you know, I'll keep you posted as things change, and we expect there to be changes until it's over.
Yeah.
So,
Very good,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any other business?
Russ, did you wanna, mention about the minutes?
Oh, so,
The AI minutes.
I was just experimenting, since I knew I was gonna end up doing the minutes. And this afternoon I went to, AI, and I took the YouTube video from last week, last month.
Okay.
And I just fed that in, and it spit out those minutes exactly without my having to do anything.
So when you say you fed it,
How do you feed it?
yeah,
You just download the audio, the address of the YouTube
Okay,
audio,
okay.
YouTube video
Upload it
To chat?
into the app.
into this AI that I was using, and it just erased
Which
the minutes
AI?
for you, yeah.
Which
Wow.
AI application do you use?
Well, I was using one that,
Not chat, GPT.
so I started looking this afternoon, and I looked at like 4 or 5 different versions of this.
Wow.
And this is the only one that I modeled, and I just took the address for that YouTube video, put it in, and it gave me this, so,
What was the name of it?
do you want to find out? It's still up on my laptop, so
All right.
if anyone wants to see, it is what it,
That's cool.
That
That's
is.
great.
It is interesting, and it's not bad, I mean, it's not overly wordy, it's not like it just spit out the same text.
So have to compare with the one I did.
yeah,
Exactly.
and it's actually quite different. I like yours better, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because yours is very easy to read. 'Cause
Yes.
Maybe you can program it to do the punctuation or bolding or,
Well, then you can
Well-
massage whatever it gives
Yeah,
you, because
right.
it comes
Put
out.
it in, you
can
can
massage
copy,
it.
paste it, and put it into Word, and then you could bold.
Oh,
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. I didn't do a thing to it. If
Okay.
anyone is interested, I have a couple copies here.
Yeah.
That I can.
That's good.
Well, thanks, it's
Yeah,
an
I have-
idea,
I
huh?
have
It's
one,
all right.
if you want to pass that around, I.
so then we actually don't even need anyone if we have chat.
I know.
Well,
We can
they
just do the meeting minutes all the time.
So, all I tried was just one of these things today, this afternoon. And I was just thinking, if Seth was, he's filming all of these different board meetings. What if built into that was his ability to
You
generate,
take the meeting and.
yeah, and now they all have a similarity in the way that they're formatted and the way that they're, presented and so forth. And then you give that to whoever wants to massage it and finish it. And then it might be like a much better way than watching an hour of video and taking notes.
When I was working our webinars, we were able, to not only would you have the audio, but the transcript would be stood on the side.
Yeah, that's what I did, is
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually, it was a 2-step process. I brought it down into a transcript.txt, and then I loaded that into the thing that summarized and did the key points. And so that was the,
So maybe you could find out what the site is and share it.
Could report it next time if you're gonna
Yeah,
use
sure.
it.
He's gonna use it.
but I think Seth, I think it would
He's
be,
hearing us right now.
Customize that,
was that?
like customize, program that.
Yeah, so that it basically all the different boards would be able to just roll these things
Well,
out, and they
this-
would have the same kind of,
Right.
Okay.
Format.
Someone signed me up for this Justin of the South Shore, and when I went to the AI program that was here, that's one of the things that they do really well, like things that would take hours for a person to do.
right.
And, but it also says, sometimes it hallucinates, so you have to check your facts.
And that is true.
That-
Yeah,
that's-
someone's got to read it before they send it out.
Yeah.
Right, but your facts should be okay because they were here.
They're on
You
it,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'll forward one to you that and it's all over the South Shore. I mean, I only pay attention like to the Scituate ones. I don't really care about the town water in Halifax, but like every town. And then at the bottom it says this is AI generated and it sometimes hallucinates. So, and I've heard that now that program that we went to here, that's sort of a term, that it just, things come out of nowhere that make no sense.
Yes.
But then you look at the address, Justin from the South Shore is based in San Diego, in San Francisco.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's getting clicks or something.
He's
that's
from- yeah,
moving
from,
on somewhere. Sure.
From like these kind of things.
Hmm.
Town reports, town things.
because usually it's as good as the information that's provided.
Right.
So if we are accurate with our
It should-
information here,
input should be
that's
out.
what you're gonna get usually.
Usually, but it can get morphed a
Yeah.
slight bit one way or the other, or might be missing one key point. So I just took notes on what I thought were some key points at the meeting that I wanted to make sure were included. And then we'll see how that works
I
out.
think it's good.
Yeah, I wanna read it, yeah.
At the
I think
AI,
we need more
the Rotary Club
programs
uses
on
that.
AI.
Because they had to do a fundraiser, so that was one of the demos they had at the AI meeting here, that they didn't know, like, the steps to do a fundraiser, and then they dumped it all into AI, and then they said within like 10, 15 minutes, which would take them weeks probably,
Yeah.
it was already done, and then they just, massaged it like Russ said, and then continued it, but they said it was unbelievable.
Or when Jeff and his cohort were here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he had somebody who was knowledgeable.
Yeah, and then there was a participant who was in the Rotary Club, so he was,
Yes,
so
That was
he,
Jeff, yeah.
yeah. But
Is
he
that
said it
what
was
is
truly
public?
amazing.
Information, and we correspond with each other. If I was to forward something like that to this group, is that kosher?
No,
No,
it's not. So,
I'm glad I
you
asked.
can only send it to 3 people for
up,
public,
up
yeah.
to.
Only the 3 people?
So it would have to come back at the next meeting and go on the agenda.
I just wanted to mention, you had, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, brought up that you had a very time-intensive process of preparing reports and things like that. This is the kind of thing where AI could help you potentially, if with.
Well, that's an example of what Dee mentioned, is where's the data and how good is it already, I should say, how well organized, because that's the problem. It should be easier.
Your data isn't.
It's not
Not that
in
good
a,
sometimes.
it's not in a format that is easily pulled, and
Right.
that's the problem, even, for me, but even for that. And I think that's why, but if we could get it, maybe, but it's already in, it's in a software program that is trying to help it come out better. For me, my senior center has stepped in and tried to take the state annual report and make it so that they can output
Summarize to it.
what we need, but it's not perfect, because
Right.
the input isn't perfect, and that's
Right,
the
the
problem.
data, the data's not.
But it's,
But
it could get there.
there might be some applications where it would help efficiencies, no doubt. Anybody else have any other comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion.
Second.
Susan and Susan, thank you very much, thank you everyone.
That was great.